Yo, what's good, everybody? I want to thank you for tuning in to another Tyler Perry Sistas review, season 3, episode 3, entitled The Gift of Goodbye. I don't know who said goodbye in this episode, but that's the title of it. um, y'all forgive my voice. My voice sounds incredibly raspy right now. I don't know how it's gonna sound once I edit it, but it sounds really raspy through these headphones. Um, y'all, I'm trying. I'm trying with Sisters. Um, I can honestly say for me, the first 3 episodes of this season, there have been comedic moments. Yes, there have been moments where I felt, wisdom was, given. But I don't think from beginning to end we have had one solid episode as of yet. That's just my opinion. But I'm trying, to hang on and everything like that. But it ain't working. You know, I have had so many people message me and email me, and I'm gonna talk about, I'm gonna go through the review probably a little quicker than usual because I do want to answer some of the questions because they're a lot, and I'm sure some people may, have the same questions, so I want to answer them. So you know how I do. If this is your first time coming to my YouTube page, listening to one of my reviews, welcome. I appreciate you. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe if you like what you hear. To all my returning, family members, I appreciate y'all. Y'all already know that. So let's get into this review. So I'm going to start with Jacoby, Sabrina, and Calvin. I'm gonna throw Maurice in there too. So I know some people don't like Jacoby because he comes off a little aggressive, and that's fair. I can understand that. Me personally, I love a little aggressiveness. Um, but honestly though, one of the things that I like about Jacoby is that he shifts responsibility back on Sabrina, without coming off as disrespectful. For example, when he apologized for what took place the night prior, Sabrina says, "You came to my house for a booty call. That's it." And then Jacoby's response was, he had to kindly remind her that she called him. And now she's trying to act like she didn't enjoy it. Sabrina lies and she says that she didn't. Just lying for no reason. I'm like, he gave you an opportunity to be truthful about, yes, I enjoyed what happened between us last night. It probably shouldn't have happened. But yes, I did enjoy myself. So I'm just like, just lying for no reason. But that is typical Sabrina. Jacoby told her that he wouldn't bother her, anymore because he was basically telling her, well, you seem like you enjoyed it when I was kissing your neck and rubbing on you. You know what I'm saying? And so she was basically just trying to put her foot down and say, hey, we need to be professional. And he was like, I could do that. I'm not trying to mess this up. I won't bother you again. But basically, he needed help because he was doing his reports and something wasn't adding up. Initially, Sabrina appeared to be reluctant to help him, but she eventually did. So Calvin shows up at the bank all in fury, talking about his account was overdrawn when he went to the ATM, it was overdrawn, which is what Maurice was trying to tell him before he, kindly hung up in his face. And so he says he thought Maurice was playing. Now, Maurice plays about a lot of things, but calling you about your financial status while he's at work, I don't think Maurice would joke about that. So I'm just like, okay, Tyler, you could have wrote something better than that, but all right, we'll go with that. So this is my thing, okay? Calvin has his own construction firm, and we are supposed to believe that he doesn't have online banking, that he doesn't have alerts coming to his phone, that there is nothing alerting him when something has been done with his bank accounts. That is so unbelievable to me. But we gonna ride with it because it's so Tyler Perry. So basically, Maurice tries to go and get Sabrina, and Calvin was like, "Is he in there?" Because she had her blinds closed. Him not knowing her blinds was closed because she really didn't want to deal with Jacoby that day, so that's why the blinds were closed. Anyway, so Maurice knocks on the door, and Calvin says, "What's taking you so damn long to open the door?" I said, "Now, okay, let me pause. I do not like Calvin. I'm not a fan of Calvin. And I have not been a fan of Calvin since season 1 when his father died and he got drunk and was very aggressive and verbally to me abusive with Sabrina. I have been looking at him sideways ever since then. He has always given me, especially at that point, just that he got abusive vibes. That like he can flip at any given moment. I don't like him. I really don't like him. And so when Sabrina and Jacoby comes out of the office, he's just acting an ass. And basically, he needed Sabrina to sign off on something. And Sabrina was like, look, I recently got in trouble for doing something that I wasn't supposed to do. How do I know that you didn't do this? Because honestly, she has no proof. She tells Calvin that he needs to have a police report. He didn't have one. And he was basically like, just do what need to be done so I can get the hell on. Still aggressive. Sabrina was like, I don't want to do with this because he told Sabrina she was so full of shit. He doesn't care how he talks to her at this point. And my thing is this, and this is how I'm going to go a little bit deeper with this particular storyline a little bit later. That's why I was saying I was trying to get through it. But just the way that he talks to Sabrina, if you are in a situation where my thing is this, no one has to accept you. No one has to accept. Now, people should respect how you choose to live, who you choose to be with, how you choose to, wear your clothing, your hair, whatever. But I don't have to be accepting of your behavior. But I do respect it because this is what you've chosen to do. And so my thing is with Calvin, if Sabrina does not embrace who you are and everything that comes along with you, move on. Move on to someone else. Why continue to pine over someone who has shown you over and over and over again that A, they don't trust you, and B, they don't want you? Move on. But the way that he was acting to me, I would have told Calvin that you need to leave, period. Period. So when Sabrina walked away, Calvin grabbed her. And to me, Jacoby did what I think a lot of other men would have done in that situation. And, they got into a little scuffle. He punched Calvin. He punched Calvin, and Calvin made that sound. And, this is the thing I don't like about this situation. Tyler has written this thing to where we have seen so many judgments come from Sabrina concerning Calvin's sexuality. And to me, Calvin has done many of things that would have caused me to question or doubt or be concerned. And so it has been written like, we should feel bad that Sabrina thinks this about him, or Sabrina shouldn't think that about him. But on a serious note, one thing I want to say is, as a black woman, and we know that black women, if you didn't know, black women contract HIV 9 times out of 10 from their supposed heterosexual counterpart. And I worked in the medical field. I'll say this: anytime you feel any ounce of doubt concerning who you are laying with, who you're trusting your body with, let's go get tested. Let's go get tested together just to make sure nothing is happening, nothing is going on. But obviously in this case, Sabrina been having sex with Calvin all up and down since season 1. So it's not an issue, but I don't think she is wrong for questioning him. And so it's like when we saw what we all saw the other night with that twirl and that fall, I said, Tyler, I don't care what you say. I don't care what narrative you're trying to push. Why are you giving Calvin these particular characteristics? I don't get it. I really don't get it. But anyway, she told Jacoby that he needed to leave, and she basically suspended him for defending her. I'm like, what kind of sense does that make? I gotta admit, I saw a lot of people taking up for Jacoby. I was really shocked because everybody was like, well, he didn't do nothing wrong. Why is she telling him to leave? I was like, wow. I was shocked about that because Jacoby normally doesn't get praises from the fans. So I was shocked to see that, but it just didn't make sense to me. Sabrina is so, I believe Andy is the most idiotic one, but Sabrina is the one that really gets on my nerves the most because she creates these situations and then act as if she doesn't understand why certain things are happening. And it's very irritating. It's very irritating. So let's deal with Zach and Fatima. Let's deal with Zach's situation first. So Zach returns the laptop that meant so much to this mystery woman. She gives him this card and an insider stock trading tip. I'm going to be real with y'all. This entire storyline was dumb as hell to me. It was dumb as hell, and it was just downright out of left field. Now, I know how Tyler writes normally when he does something like this. He does tend to bring it together, but I'm just like, this was so odd. This was just so incredibly odd. And then I saw a lot of people praising Zach for how he handled the situation. I'm like, I don't praise him. He was dumb as hell. Why did you even go to that hotel room, Zach? Now your fingerprints are all over this hotel because you opened the door, you opened the closet door, and you got a drink from her, and your fingerprints are on her laptop bag. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking like that. Like, why did you even go there? You don't know this woman. I don't understand. You doing stuff to make a quick buck, which doesn't make sense because he's already in this program where he's making money. So I'm like, Tyler, what? It just didn't make sense to me. I could see if he was just working at the airport down on his luck and really didn't have the funds. But that is not the Zach that we're dealing with now. We're dealing with Zach who has a full-time job, who is working with this construction company, for ex-felons. And why would he need to do something to gain more money? Like, that just didn't make sense to me. But, I don't know what it is with Zach and hotel rooms that makes him lose his damn mind. Him and hotels don't go together. He just need to stay the hell up out of them. So we see that he goes to the law office. And so Fatima isn't too happy because she feel like, this is my job and this is disrespectful for you to show up here. And which I totally agree. Now, I distinctively remember in season 1 when Aaron showed up to Karen's job and he didn't call first. He just showed up unannounced. People drug that brother through the damn dirt because he a stalker. He doesn't understand personal space. He doesn't understand that he needs to cough. Oh my God. But you know what was so interesting? I did not see that same energy given to Zach. Not at all. Not at all. So as Fatima is telling him that it's disrespectful for him to show up at her job, she was like, Andy is my boss, and this situation of ours is messy as hell, which I completely agree. Then he tells Fatima, then answer your phone when I'm calling you. Nigga, what? You know, this is definitely TV because I don't see how Karen or Fatima gives Zach the authority to talk to them in the manner in which he does. It makes no sense to me. I don't get it. Then he tells her, I'm coming to your house tonight. Oh, really? Oh, really? You coming to my house? Even though I didn't invite you, you gonna force yourself in? How you getting in? I said, this is just something. This is something else. And so basically Zach was telling her, how good she makes him feel and how he wanted to rise up and meet her at her level. And even in this speech, he can't keep Karen's name out of his mouth because he brings up Karen again as he's speaking to Fatima. But let me say this about Fatima because, Fatima is definitely a fan favorite, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. But it's almost obsessive now, the stuff that I see and the things that people send me personally, because someone did post it, but it wasn't the same person who messaged me, and they were basically talking about like why didn't the girls speak to Fatima when they walked into this photo shoot? And I said, okay, now don't get it. Let me not get it twisted. I don't want to make it seem like these women have to kiss Fatima's ass. Danny waved. They're going into a situation where they really don't know what's going on. They were not expecting to see Fatima there, I'm sure. But I'm just like, come on. I've seen stuff where all the women on the show is jealous of Fatima. Jealous of what? And let me be very clear. And I know I like Fatima. I have to preface this because people still think I don't like her, even though I say it almost every review. I like Fatima. What I will not ever agree with is that Fatima is better than any other woman on this show, because she's not. When you really look at Fatima is not in a better situation. She's I mean, hell, look who she's entertaining. And let me say this too, because if you go back and listen to my old reviews, especially the review when they had their girls' night out and Fatima came, I automatically saw through all that facade she was putting out. Fatima is truly falling for Zach, and we can see that. The thing is, she's no different than Karen. You want to believe the best in somebody. You want to believe that they're on the up and up until you get hurt by that person. And I've always found it interesting. It's fine if people don't like Karen as a character. That's perfectly fine. But I think to erase or attempt to eradicate everything she's been through as if, oh, well, she just talked down to Zach. She always talking down to Zach. I don't know why she talked down to Zach. We don't know. We don't, the cheating, the not doing anything to help her out financially, none of that. We don't know. Okay. I guess we'll rock with that. But I want to say this about Fatima, and this is just some grown woman real shit right here. There is no way in the world a man can look at me in my face and tell me that he wants me, but he also wants his ex, and he doesn't understand why he loves her so much. I don't think there's many women listening, at least I hope not, who would still entertain that man. Now, don't get me wrong. Zach was telling his truth. That was his truth. I respect that, bro. But I tell you what, go back to your ex because you love. You can't. I can't compete with that. You love her. I cannot compete with that. That's why I say Zach is a walking contradiction because now you're telling Fatima how special she make you feel, how good she make you feel, and what you want to do for her. Yet, you just told me a few hours ago you want me and your ex. And I found it very interesting that Zach was acting like that conversation did not take place. The way he was acting with Fatima, it was almost like, he trying to hug all up on her and be all up on her. And it's like, did you not forget what you said to me? You talk out of both sides of your mouth. I'm just sick and tired of all they ass, to be perfectly honest. Because it's like, I'm going to get to that later because I do want to talk about a live that I saw between Novi and Manon, which I thought was really great. But it really made me, this whole show started starting to get on my nerves, honestly. But we'll get back to that. So I really ain't got a lot to say. Now let's get to this photo shoot. So we get to the photo shoot. We all knew what Gary was planning. He was planning a surprise wedding for Andy. So, they had the dresses in the back. The women went back there, put on their dresses and all that good stuff. And Fatima was giving Karen her size. She was like, you look like a 2'4". How do you know my size? I said, girl, shut up. Shut the hell up. And y'all know I love Karen, but I'm just like, I can understand Karen feeling the way that she feels, but her nasty disposition and her crazy attitude is being, to me, it's being given to the wrong person. It's being directed to the wrong person. Fatima doesn't deserve any of that. So I'm not even sure what the whole issue is. You may feel, but because my thing is, she's told Karen several times she didn't know. At some point, if you're not gonna, you don't have to be rude and you don't have to be disrespectful. Fatima just gonna be somebody you just don't deal with like that. But I think it's getting to the point to where a lot of people just not feeling Karen because it's not, the attitude is not warranted. It's just not. So they put the dresses on, they go out there, and they're taking pictures. Gary comes up, and let me tell you, baby, let me tell you something. Cheeto, that man is fine. And blue on his skin is pure butter, pure perfection. Oh, Father God, that man, that's a fine man right there. And I'm just like, but I can't stand him on the show. And I'm just like, look at him. And so he was basically telling Andy that, he has a real minister. And, this is his proposal. And I can't live another minute without you. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? Y'all are together. What you mean you can't live another moment without her? But let's stop here. This particular scene shows just how controlling and manipulative Gary is as an individual. You're talking about this woman's wedding day. Her family isn't even there. What are you in a rush for? We all know that Gary is up to no good. We all know that Gary is not a good person. How do you, and I know, don't get me wrong, I know there have been people who have made this a popular thing for the man to plan the wedding, the woman show up, and it's her wedding, day. I get it. And it's beautiful to watch when black love is truly black love. Not when it's black, abusive, and toxic, and crazy ass love. I'm just like, this is so stupid. And Andy just is smiling up there, and all the girls, including Fatima, no, something is not right. And for me, this scene was kind of unbelievable because I could understand how Gary got in touch with Fatima. All you gotta do is call the law office and ask to be transferred to whoever person you want to speak with. When it comes to Danny, I still don't know how he got Danny's number. How did you get this woman's number? And I don't see me being a sister friend to someone, and I know that you have physically abused, physically assaulted my friend, and I'm gonna do a favor for you, nigga. Get out my face. What do you mean? I don't understand that, and for I don't understand how Tyler is trying to write Gary to be this good person. You're the abuser. You're controlling. You're manipulative. You are untrustworthy. I don't know why he's being written so people can start to like him. I don't understand it. Most of us can see from a mile away that this person is toxic as hell, and he means Andy no good. I can't meet your son, but you want to marry me today? I can't be a part of that other aspect of your life, but you want me to be your wife? How? You just said you want to ease your son into things because he has autism, which, okay, let's go with that. Bump easing, you gonna introduce him to your wife instead of this is my fiance or whatever the case may be. Gary just full of mess. He's definitely full of mess. I gotta give Fatima her props though, because one thing I do enjoy about Fatima is that she does not bite her tongue. She was very open and honest with Andy about how she feels about Gary, and knowing that he was up to something, but just didn't quite know what it was. So I do respect Fatima in that way of just being perfectly open and honest when it comes to Andy. So much so that Andy told her, you sound just like the girls. Like, please don't sound like them. I've already told them too much anyway. And I believe Fatima said something along the lines of, yeah, you may have told them a lot, but don't forget that everything you told them was the truth. And I thought that was a gem. Like, sometimes we tell people, I done told too much of my business to my friends and now they looking at him different. No, you told your friends the truth. That's what's causing them to look at this person different. So I really did respect that aspect of her. And oh God, this episode, I rewatched it. I rewatched it because I had a death in the family, and I found out literally like 10 minutes before Sistas aired. So I know I wasn't in the right headspace when I watched it. So I watched it again. Because I'm like, I don't want to get to the point that I dog the show. I wouldn't do that. But it's just like some of these things are really becoming a nuisance while watching. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't know if you guys watch Run the World, that comes on Stars. And not that I'm trying to compare the two shows, but those ladies are more of an accurate depiction of my friends than Sistas. And getting back to the live I told you guys about, watching Manon, who is depicted, she plays Danny, and Novi, who plays Sabrina. I was listening to their lives. It came on right before the show. And some things I could feel them on. And then there were certain things I'm like, but that just don't make sense, sis. But they were talking about how a lot of black women, reach out to them and say, can we have at least one of y'all be in a healthy relationship? One of y'all, just doing well. And they were like, no, because that's not reality. I'm like, that's not who reality, sis. That's not whose reality. And I think that it is a disservice to the black community or black women to say that. There are many black women who are and black men who are in healthy relationships. There's going to be issues because you're two different people coming together to be together. That's automatically going to be some issues there. But every issue does not have to be a toxic situation. And I think that I started calling Tyler Toxic Tyler because I'm like, everything is like exaggerated to the 10th power. And it's to the point to me that it doesn't even make great TV anymore. And they were talking about how the fans have to be, or the fans have to remember that the timeline of the show, yeah, it's the third season, but it may have been like a month or two, like a month that all this time has happened. And I said, no, the fans, we don't have to remember the timeline because we do understand why we see y'all in the same outfits for 3 and 4 episodes, which lets us know that's one day. And then they'll say, that this character is going to mature and they're going through, you're going to see them go through their trial and error and they're going to come out on top. I said, damn, in 9 days, you're going to do all that? You going to do all that in 9 days? And I think that, someone asked me how would I feel if Tyler listened to one of my reviews. And I said, I ain't going to feel no way. I ain't going to feel no way. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not going to change what I feel. KJ Smith has listened. I don't know if she listens consistently, but I know that she has listened to my reviews. And even by me knowing that information, I'm not going to change how I do my thing because someone from the show is listening. They should listen. The people who review the stuff that they in, they should listen to get different perspectives because everybody doesn't, revel in drama. People actually want to see healthy situations and just life. Let life happen to them because life happens. Things happen unexpectedly. It just happens. It's life. But all these outlandish situations and stuff like that, it's just like, yeah, we dealt with it in season 1. I thought season 1 was really good. Season 2, to me, was going really well to the last, 3 episodes. And now we're in season 3, and it's just like, what's going on here? We're going into, episode 4, and we're only on day 2. I'm going to just say day 1. I ain't even going to count the first episode because we were still on the episode we left off in season 2. So when we come back next Wednesday, we're on the same day. It's going to be 3 days, 3 episodes in the same day. I said, I'm tired of them. I'm tired of them. I am super, super tired of them. Yeah, so that was one question about how I would feel if Tyler listened to one of my reviews. One other person, one thing they was talking about, it was like everybody knows. She was like, you don't even like Zach. She was like, you don't like Zach. So when I listen to your reviews, I be waiting for you to dog him out. And I said, sis, everybody know I don't like Zach. You think you revealing something special? You're not. It's no secret. I said, but one thing I will say about me is that I'm not biased. I like Karen. I don't like Karen is not my favorite person right now. I think her attitude is trash. I understand you feel how you feel, sis, but how how you are inflicting it on other people is trash. It's absolute trash, absolute garbage. And I think with all of the sisters, the people who play these roles, they always talk about how these characters are searching. No one is perfect. They're searching. They're going through. Oh, shut up. Shut up. I'm like, that's going to be the excuse for everything y'all going through. You're searching. Nah. But if that's what you got to do to protect the job, I get it. But maybe I'm just getting a little too personal, a little too open because I think that honestly, my expectation wasn't too high going into the 3rd season, but I think I just expected a little better. And I'm becoming uninterested in the show. Honestly, and that upsets me because I believe that Sistas has the ability to be such a great show, to be such a powerful show. And I don't know, I know some of you guys are in different sister groups and the interactions has dropped off majorly since last season. I just think some people are feeling the same way. It's like now it's really an insult to our intelligence what we're being fed, by someone who claims that they appeal to black women. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how Tyler was raised. You're not a black woman. You're just not. And it is hard for me to believe that every depiction of black women in his movies, in his shows, is either they downtrodden, they've gotten, taken advantage of or being abused mentally, spiritually, psychologically, whatever, by a black man. Another black man comes in as a savior and, redeems her and makes the woman whole again. You know what I'm saying? Or the woman just straight crazy. He loved those too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I just want more. I just want better. You know what I'm saying? As we watch the show. That's why this review is so short in what I talked about, because it's like, I'm just disgusted. I'm highly disgusted because we see these same women making these same dumb decisions since season 1. And it's tiresome. It really is tiresome. And I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go on a long rant like this, but I had to make this interesting because I just didn't have a lot to say about this episode. I really didn't. But I am gonna do a bonus episode for a bonus video for this episode. I had to think about what I'm gonna talk about, and then I will be doing a bonus um video for Patreon only. The link to my Patreon will be in the description box. I would love to hear what you guys thought about this episode. Um, I really, really would. You know, the whole thing. How many people really knew what Gary was doing? I felt like it was very obvious what he was doing. When it comes to Karen, I'm just sick of her as far as blaming everybody else or blaming Fatima. Even we saw next episode, you know, they meet out in the parking lot and, you know, she's, oh, you didn't know he was my ex. And I'm like, nigga, you act like you lost a gem. You act like you lost someone who was just doing everything right. I don't even understand. And I don't even think she don't even want Zach. I really don't believe she wants Zach. So I'm just interested in seeing what this is coming from. You know, sometimes I believe that she wanted Zach to be what Aaron possessed. And then there are other times too, I'm like, well, no, that can't be it, because she told Zach to his face that everything that she wanted in a man that she found in Aaron. I don't know how much more clearer one could get about what they want and what they desire and what they now have in front of them. I just think Karen fell into that loop of, you know, sometimes we pray for certain things, and when we get it, we realize that we are not prepared for what we have been asking. That happens too, you know, and I think that Aaron is the type of person, the type of man that he has been depicted on the show, is that he showed up ready and willing to give all as their situation, you know, became more and more serious, and digging a little deeper into the emotional aspect of their relationship. And I just think that Karen should have been honest. If you wasn't ready for that, just tell him. But I think it is unfair, and I had to really think about what Andy told her about leading Aaron on. And at first, when I did my review, I was like, you know what? That ain't true. That's not what she doing. But in retrospect, she was. She was. It was like, I'm kind of, you know, I got you. I'm gonna see what Zach do. Kind of like in the back of her head, I'm gonna see what Zach do. I'm gonna see what Zach do. And as Zach, you know, the distance became more and more, and he was starting to fall back, and someone else caught his attention. It was like, oh hell, wait a minute. I just felt she did, you know, Aaron so dirty. Like, even to the point, I'm like, do I really want him to be with her? A little piece of me still do, but I'm like, I just believe he deserves so much better. The fact that she was just so careless with his feelings, even though they were not in a committed relationship. She knew what it was. You know, she definitely knew what it was, and I think she got caught off guard by how quickly she was starting to fall for him, with also the hopes that Zach would become the man that she wanted him to be, which I don't know how the hell she figured that. But but okay, this video is 33 minutes. Like I said, I'm sorry you guys for going on a rant. I just was disappointed. Hopefully next week's episode is better than this week's episode, and we can kind of get some type of resolve to at least some of these storylines. But I've been reading the synopsis, and I'm like, nope, still the same. Still the same mess. But I hope that you guys have a good night, and I thank you for your patience. I thank you for those who reached out wondering what was going on with the review. And so I appreciate you guys probably more than you'll ever know. I really do. I thank you so much for your consistency, for the feedback, the emails. I really appreciate it because I love talking about the show. And just like a lot of you guys who message me and, you know, contact me, you just want to see better. You just want to see a more well-rounded show, and I'm with you wholeheartedly. You guys be safe out there. Love on your family. Tell them you love them. If you holding on to anything with anybody, it's not worth it. Let it go. Be free. You know, don't be captive in what this person should have did, what they should have done, why you have this feeling, why you won't forgive them. You know, at the end of the day, We all got to close our eyes on this side. And it would be a disservice to live life holding on to things that do not serve you, that are not beneficial for you. And that does not mean just relationship in any aspect of life. So I hope that whatever you guys dream to be, whatever you aspire to be, that you work towards that and you just have tunnel vision to fulfill everything that you believe you have been purposed to do. And so I will holler at you guys later. Until next time, y'all be safe out there. One.